from the studios of Farm Journal Broadcast.
Coming up on Ag Day, the president keeps talking tough on NAFTA. Plus, Mexico grain buyers are looking for new supplies in the South. And agribusiness getting ready for a new week.
So I'm going to be kind of interested to watch and see if we get these flash sales we've been getting recently. We need them. We're behind export sales for the grains.
Machinery Pete talks about leasing trends for farm equipment and a Halloween on the high seas in North Dakota.
Ag Day, presented by the Chevy Silverado. High-strength steel for high-strength dependability.
Good morning, I'm Clinton Griffiths. The stock market is setting new records. GDP growth is at 3%, and the president says he'll continue to focus on jobs, even if it means dropping the North American Free Trade Agreement. The trade pact, now in renegotiations, is top of mind for the president. He continues to threaten withdrawal in hopes of gaining leverage over Mexico and Canada. Farm state leaders, of course, continue to urge caution and reserve as those two countries remain major buyers of U.S. agricultural goods. However, the president and his team say if ending the agreement is the only way to gain any leverage, they're willing to take that step.
Reciprocal trade, and that's what we're doing, Wilbur. We are working on many trade deals that have treated our country very unfairly for many years, and nobody even understood it. They didn't know what was going on, and those days are over. So we're renegotiating certain trade deals, and we've started the process for others. It's actually a long process, as you probably know. You have statutory requirements and lots of other things, but the bottom line is step by step, and we're getting it done, and we're way ahead of schedule, I would say.
Yes, we are, Mr.
We've started with NAFTA. We'll see how that turns out. It may not turn out, and if it doesn't turn out, we'll have to do a new NAFTA or a new deal, but we'll see how it turns out.
The most recent round of NAFTA negotiations ended in a flurry of terse words and strong statements. Of course, that has the U.S. ag industry on edge, worried about doing long-term harm to relationships with two of its biggest customers. I recently traveled to Mexico as a guest of the U.S. Grains Council to see how grain importers are already looking south for supplies. Engineered several miles from shore in the blue waters of the Gulf sits the port of Progreso on Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula.
Here we're bringing in about 2.1 million metric tons of grain and oilseeds every year.
Less than 2 days from the port of New Orleans, Progreso is a major hub and entry point for U.S. grains.
It's been one of the most important reasons why the United States has been the closest trading partner with Mexico in recent years.
Currently, this facility handles about 7 ships a month, and one of its key strategic benefits is this storage. And in fact, they're adding capacity here as we speak.
We have around 120,000 metric tons of storage available, so it allows for a continuous discharge without any stops.
Seems like a very efficient setup.
It's actually one of the most efficient ports in all of Latin America and is the most efficient port in Mexico.
And Mexico continues to invest here.
We see the government of Mexico making a continuous investment to expand the scope and size of their ports, which will continue to lower transportation costs.
Work being done here and elsewhere.
Currently in Veracruz, they're doubling the capacity of their agricultural receiving ability.
Now we have a facility that we are building there, and it will be ready by the end of 2018.
Importers like Gramosa aren't waiting for port work or NAFTA negotiations to be done before booking ships from other destinations.
Right now, we've been pushed to import from other origins. Right now, we have several suppliers, not only United States.
According to the U.S. Grains Council in September, Mexico took shipment of 4 vessels from South America, 3 from Brazil and 1 from Argentina, including 1 to Veracruz and 1 here to Progreso.
This year we've seen more interest from Brazil. They've been making significant investments in the port of Barcarena and the port of Itaqui. And with these facilities, they're also able to competitively reach the east coast of Mexico with yellow corn and soybeans.
These northern ports in Brazil are helping farmers get grain to end users more quickly, shaving up to 5 days off the shipping time compared to southern ports.
We had never previously really contemplated using South America as a continuous source. We've only ever purchased infrequently, and it was always a matter of pricing.
These gentlemen have been buying grain from the U.S. for some 30 years.
We realize that we depend on grain from the United States, but We have to start looking at the possibility of importing from South America in case the agreement falls apart.
We have done it before because we have taken the advantage of a good price. But I insist, our natural market is 40 hours away from us.
U.S. farmer customers now reluctant buyers of South American grain as trade uncertainty clouds the opportunities of the future.
It is a relationship between these buyers and sellers, and I think that's important.
U.S. grain shows total export bookings to Mexico as of mid-October were up nearly 10%. Now, analysts say the increase may be due to wider than normal basis, but it may also be that Mexican importers are moving grain now ahead of any potential breakdowns in NAFTA talks. The next round is set for Mexico in mid-November. Economists are getting a better handle on how much Hurricane Harvey cost the agricultural sector in Texas, the storm decimating parts of south central Texas and the upper Gulf Coast. Economists from Texas A&M AgriLife Extension say the storm caused more than $200 million in crop and livestock losses. Cotton sustained the biggest losses, about $100 million. A&M estimates 200,000 bales of cotton lint on the stalk valued at $62 million was lost. Another 200,000 harvested bales valued at nearly $10 million had degraded quality. Some ranchers were unable to save some cattle from insurmountable floodwaters, and putting those losses at $93 million, which includes not only animals lost to the storm, but infrastructure like fencing and lost hay. Texas AgriLife says livestock losses could have been far worse had it not been for the farm groups and associations that established animal supply points, providing livestock with fresh hay and feed. Hay losses are also felt in North Dakota, which suffered through a lasting drought, forcing producers to find hay elsewhere. USDA is projecting that North Dakota hay production is 32% lower this year. Overall, hay production in the country is close to 132 million tons. That's down 3 million tons, or about 1%. Alfalfa hay is down 4%. Harvest taking a turn to winter for some of our viewers. Mike Hoffman has details and crop comments. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Clinton. It felt more like winter last week for our viewers in the northern plains and the Corn Belt, with Fargo dropping to 8 degrees. But in Rochester, Minnesota, this was the view out Machinery Pete's back door on Friday. He says it didn't amount to much, and with highs this week in the 40s, farmers are hoping to start rolling again soon. A local farmer told us about 1/10 of soybeans are left to harvest in that area, but corn is untouched. As of last Monday, USDA says Minnesota's corn harvest was 40 points behind average. The snow also made it up to Dwayne Bussey's farm. He's in Clinton, Minnesota, and says corn harvest is just now starting. Yields aren't as good as last year, but still really good considering the dry summer. And taking a look at the rainfall, estimated rain from last week, you can see most of the wet areas in the eastern half of the country. We'll have your forecast for the coming week and the next 30 days coming up in just a few minutes. First, here are some hometown temps.
Farm Journal On Air is the go-to app for American agriculture. Ag Day, AgriTalk, U.S. Farm Report, and more. 24/7 access to all of your favorite shows, TV and radio. In your hands, on demand. Farm Journal On Air. Download the app today.
When we come back, we'll head to the agribusiness desk in preparation for the trading week ahead. And later, Machinery Pete is here.
Stay tuned, folks. Coming up, we're going to talk the off-lease effect on used tractor values.
And meet a North Dakota farm family who enjoys a high seas adventure just in time for Halloween.
Unlock the power of ag technology this December in Indianapolis at the first ever Ag Tech Expo. Learn all about it at farmjournalagtech.com.
No two fields are the same. Each acre has its own pulse. And if we could hear it, that would change everything. We'll help you listen with simple data collection, storage, easy-to-use digital tools, and science-driven insights. Climate Field View is your data partner to support the decisions you make every day. Feel the pulse of the land in the palm of your hand.
Today we're here to talk about trucks. Do you think Ford, Ram, or Chevy offers best-in-class light-duty V8 towing?
I would put it on Ford.
Let's find out. Okay, not Ford. Which truck brand do you think offers best-in-class HD horsepower?
I go Ram. Ram, yeah.
It's not Ram either. The answer is... Yep, Chevy's the only truck brand that offers best-in-class light-duty towing, best-in-class HD horsepower, and the most capable off-road midsize pickup, the Colorado ZR2.
They look amazing.
Making it through the cotton season takes an inner strength, in you and in your crop. It's always been that way for growers who know the art of growing cotton. And when you plant Stoneville, our science keeps delivering early season vigor, which leads to in-season strength and high yield potential at harvest. Combine our science with your art and start strong with Stoneville. Our science for your art, now with Copio Prime.
Jim McCormick, Alan Dale, and Chip Nellinger, Blue Reef Agri-Marketing, kicking us off this week. Guys, all right, it's Monday. What are you watching as we start another week? We'll start with you.
What I'm watching right now is the dollar. The dollar looks like it's going to close strong in the week on Friday. So that's going to be, it's breaking out. You look at the dollar on the index chart, it's kind of got a head and shoulder bottom, which projects it up toward, I believe, 97 area.
Okay.
And that could have a negative impact on sales. So I'm going to be kind of interested to watch and see if we get these flash sales we've been getting recently. We need them. We're behind export sales for the grains. But is that dollar rally going to temper it a little bit? I'm going to be keeping an eye on that this week.
All right. Jim's watching the dollar. What about you, Chip?
I'm going to watch the bean market.
Okay.
We had November options go off the board Friday. First notice day for November beans is Tuesday. There's an old saying, I'm not that old, but I'm old enough to remember old floor saying, you want to get long on first notice day. So we're right into support technically on the bean market. I think funds are just waiting for an excuse to add to their long position in beans. So I'm going to be interested to see if the bean market can support here now that option expiration's out of the way. And I kind of think that it will, but we're going to need a little bit of a spark. The dollar's probably not going to help a lot, but bean demand has been fairly inelastic with the dollar. So it's just so strong worldwide. I think we're close to a temporary low in the bean market.
Jim, do you care about harvest at this point? Are we past that, or what do you think?
I think the trade's past it pretty much. For sure on the beans. We're 70% as of last week, so I think we're past it. I think even the corn, we've got so much carry-in right now. I don't think the trade is really too worked up about it. I mean,
even with the snow last week or whatever.
I was going to say, you had snow last week, but you actually heard reports even before the snow of producers up in the Dakotas leaving the corn out in the field simply because there's no place to put it.
Okay.
And they were just going to choose the field store. I don't know if that's the best to do, but that's the choice simply because they're out of space. So I don't think the trade's too worked up about it for that reason.
On the livestock side, real quick, Chip, can cattle do this again?
We've had nice runs. I think that's the question. I think from a producer standpoint, you really got to be looking at February, April, hogs and cattle both to lock some profits in. Even if it's just puts, let's take some money off the table because there's good profit levels right now.
All right, thank you guys for getting us started this week. We'll be back with more Ag Day in just a minute.
Farming has changed. Markets are riskier than ever. For customized, focused commodity marketing, contact Chip Nellinger or Adam Dreyer at 309-550-7213. To talk to Jim McCormick one-on-one, contact Allendale Incorporated at 815-578-6166 or email Jim at jmccormick@allendale-inc.com.
Save time each day and receive the latest market prices directly to your cell phone with market updates. It makes it effortless to stay aware of shifting market prices. Just text Markets 8 to 31313 to get started.
I've been growing DeKalb for many years now, and they always stand behind their product. They always stand behind me. I don't think there's anybody in the business that's remotely close right now.
Unmatched in its commitment to your farm and your yield, DeKalb could make all the difference come harvest. The best-in-class seed for the best-in-field farmer. With DeKalb Disease Shield backed by exclusive DeKalb genetics, you'll be ready for disease from day one and ready for results come harvest.
Quick. Name a merger.
that led to either party becoming better at what they were doing before they merged. It's okay. Take as long as you need. Wuffles Hybrids. Quite possibly the best hybrids you can buy.
When you're the boss, you need the right machines. The right machine is a new Kawasaki Mule Pro FXR side-by-side. Quality fit and finish, and all this cabin space. Maneuvers like you wouldn't believe. The new Kawasaki Mule Pro FXR, the strongest, because I said so.
Get a $500 prepaid card with every qualified Kawasaki side-by-side, plus 0% APR for 12 months. For offer details, visit Kawasaki.com.
I told my seedsman that he needed to pick the products that he thought would do well on my farm, and we knocked the yields out of the park. Best year we've ever had.
It's not just about last year or this year or next year. It's a journey through many years, and I can count on him going forward.
Ag Day weather, brought to you by Kawasaki and the new Mule Pro FXR side-by-side. Ride like a boss with high-end styling and rugged capability.
Welcome back to Ag Day. Your meteorologist Mike Hoffman. Mike, looking at rainfall over the last week, and it's kind of spotty, multiple pockets in different places.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This goes through last Friday, so it doesn't count what just fell over the weekend, because Florida and New England got a decent amount of extra rain. But you can see farther west there were several pockets like the southern Mississippi Valley, parts of Kansas City into eastern Kansas, western Michigan into the UP of Michigan. Those areas had a little more moisture than other places around. Now, as we look at the drought monitor, you can see the driest areas are starting to pick up in Arkansas, southern portions of Missouri. We've had that dryness increasing along the East Coast, but hopefully the recent rains will help those areas, and we've continued to see slow improvement in the northern plains back into Montana. As far as the jet stream is concerned, you can see the trough has developed in the eastern part of the country. And then watch what happens as we head through the middle of this week. We're going to start to see at least a temporary change back to what it was because of a strong storm coming into the west coast. The model is now showing a trough developing, like I said, at least temporarily early next week, with a trough in the west and a ridge in the east, which kind of goes back to what we were seeing earlier in the fall. Let's take a look at things then. Temperatures this week, I am going to go below normal for the Great Lakes, northern half of the Mississippi Valley, into the Dakotas, back along the Canadian border to Washington. Above normal then for the central and southern Rockies, into the southeast and up the eastern seaboard. As far as precipitation for the coming week, I'm not going above normal anywhere, but I will go near normal for the Mississippi Valley, at least the southern Mississippi Valley, into the Great Lakes in the northeast, back into the northwest. Below normal then from South Dakota and Iowa all the way back into northwestern Mexico, and below normal also in the southeastern portions of the country. As far as the 30-day outlook for temperatures, we'll continue that below normal theme for the northern half of the plains, western Great Lakes, above normal New England into eastern Canada, and above normal Four Corner region and up and down the west coast. As far as precipitation over the next 30 days from Alabama all the way up to Pennsylvania throughout the southeast, we're looking for above normal amounts of precipitation. Below normal then from Kansas to Texas, back into southern California, and also above normal for central Montana into west central portions of Canada. That's a look across the country. Now let's take a look at some local forecasts. We'll go to Roseburg, Oregon. First of all, partly sunny and quite nice to start the week. High temperature of 65 degrees. Carrington, North Dakota, breezy and colder with just a bit of snow or flurries. High 35. And Vandalia, Illinois, mostly cloudy, shower in spots. High 53.
Machinery Pete checks in next with a look at off-lease tractors. Is that a good option for you? And we'll cast off to this exotic port of call where a pirate ship welcomes trick-or-treaters.
Ag Day, brought to you by Credenz soybean seed from Bayer, designed using smart genetics with tailored varieties to fit any field condition.
The desire to bring real-world solutions to growers' difficult production challenges has led Bayer to introduce Credenz, our national brand of soybean seed, backed by years of research in smart genetics. Smart genetics is based on 4 concepts. State-of-the-art breeding allows Bayer to identify key traits and characteristics that bring value and protection to your soybean production situation. Next is herbicide-tolerant traits. The flexibility of multiple trait platforms allows growers to pick the most effective weed control system for their farm. Next is tailored varieties. With a robust portfolio, Credenz offers many solutions for difficult situations that you may experience, along with our best-in-class agronomic service team to support variety selection. And last is ongoing innovation. Bayer is continuing to invest in ways to improve yields and increase the profitability on your farm.
Quality, selection, and price make All States Ag Parts and Tractor Parts ASAP.com your best parts solution. With over 1 million used, new, and rebuilt parts in our line, we're sure to have the parts that the other guys just don't. Big selection backed up with savings of up to 50% over the big OEM dealers and a 1-year warranty make All States Ag Parts your best parts solution. Our friendly parts experts have over 1,000 years of experience, so give them a call today or shop at TractorPartsASAP.com for all your ag parts needs.
What can you do right now at MachineFinder.com? Search used equipment inventory from hundreds of John Deere dealers nationwide. Search by make, model, year, hours, price, specs, and location, including competitive brands. And search the most comprehensive inventory of John Deere certified pre-owned tractors, combines, and sprayers. All with a 1-year Power Guard protection plan and JD Link subscription. MachineFinder.com. Sometimes the best new addition to your fleet isn't new.
Machine Repeat is brought to you by John Deere. Where can you find the most comprehensive inventory of John Deere certified pre-owned tractors, combines, and sprayers? MachineFinder.com. Sometimes the best new addition to your fleet isn't new.
The trend of leasing tractors really took off about 2 years ago. How have those used tractor values been affected? Machine Repeat has the answers and a tip on where to find some great deals. Greg?
Okay, folks, let's talk leasing. Now, back 2.5 years ago, early 2015, the movement for leasing tractors just exploded. In fact, I wrote at the time 2015 was the year of the lease, by far the biggest farm machinery story that year. And understandable why it happened. We had slowing sales, particularly on large ag equipment in 2014 and 15 with the slowdown in the ag economy. And leasing was perfect. You got the warranty coverage you needed, plus it took away the risk on the back end with, depreciation rates on your 1, 2, 3-year-old tractor. Well, when leasing took off, what I wondered about would be the effect the off-lease tractors would have on used values. Because I remember what happened in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it wasn't pretty. There was a ton of off-lease tractors back in the market. Used values were hurt. Well, what I would report here in late 2017 is a very positive thing. For the most part, the absorption rate of these tractors coming off lease and being sold has been a pretty good clip, particularly on the large horse and 4-wheel drive tractors. And what we're finding is dealers all over the country are being very aggressive buyers of off-lease tractors and then are able to turn and sell you the tractor you need locally, and the dealer can make a little money, keep these tractors flowing. Now, I would say we are starting to see a little pile up on the lower horse, the 100 to 130 horse tractors coming off lease. So really good opportunity rest of 2017 into early 2018. Call your local dealer. If they don't have it, I'm sure they can find what you need, and you can probably get a pretty good deal on that size tractor.
A pirate ship is sailing the open seas of North Dakota, a Cliff Naylor ghost tale when we come back.
What is the Corvus Zone? It's the one place where grass and broadleaf weeds don't stand a chance. It starts down here, where it counts, but only when you use Corvus, the one corn herbicide that delivers 3 levels of defense: burn down, residual, and reactivation with rain. You want season-long control of the toughest weeds, including resistant ones. Welcome to the Corvus Zone.
Corvus Pre-Emergence Corn Herbicide from Bayer.
In life, when you put the max in, you get the max out. It's no different for your corn, which is why 40 years of effort have gone into proving that Instinct and N-Serve nitrogen stabilizers do more than just stabilize nitrogen, they maximize nitrogen, so your corn gives you the max in return.
I am Jordy Nelson, Green Bay All-Pro wide receiver. America's dairy farmers work hard for their success. That's why Quality Liquid Feeds works equally hard for dairy farmers, and has been for 40 years. From custom liquid feed supplements to on-farm agronomy solutions, research proving QLF products are backed by dedicated technical and support teams working hard for you.
For 40 years, QLF has been proud to support American farmers that feed the world.
Find your next piece of machinery with the most trusted name in farm equipment. MachineryPete.com has more than 100,000 pieces of machinery listed for sale from thousands of dealers across the country. It's the fastest site to find and value your next piece of used equipment. Shop with the most trusted name in farm equipment at MachineryPete.com. In the country. Brought to you by Kubota. See the all-new Commander Pro zero-turn mower at Kubota.com or visit your local Kubota dealer today.
A pirate ship has sailed onto a North Dakota farm, and it's making Halloween a little more frightening. Cliff Naylor from KFYR TV says, welcome aboard, if you dare.
The rough and tumble ride that wind and waves create for boats on the high seas has been recreated on dry land.
It's crazy.
Wendy Boehm wanted her husband to build a cardboard pirate ship to add flair to the family's annual haunted farm maze. Andy Boehm took the suggestion and swam with it.
I took an old field cultivator and hung cables from the top of the wings so that it's supported off of the top of the wings so that the cables are actually supporting the whole deck, and then I can just swing on the cables.
Sheets of scrap tin and old recycled wood complete the small-scale model ship. A creepy camping scene, a witch's brew room, and the high-voltage hut jolt visitors who are brave enough to walk through the web of horror.
When I scare people, I like it a lot because it's a lot of fun and just seeing like the terror in their eyes.
Welcome to our place.
The Boehm family has been hosting a Halloween Fright Fest for 6 years. They start assembling the displays in early October and work on the project every day until the last zombie is hung.
I jokingly say to my friends and family I have an OCD problem with Halloween.
Nearly 100 scare seekers travel to the Boehm farm every Halloween and leave in the spirit of All Hallows Eve. I'm Cliff Naylor, reporting for Ag Day.
Thanks, Cliff. The family started their haunted farm attraction as a way to thank customers of their tractor repair shop. And that's all the time we have this morning. We're sure glad you tuned in. Start your day with us. From Mike Hoffman and all of us here at Ag Day, I'm Clinton Griffiths. Have a great day.
Ag Day, brought to you by Ram Commercial, America's longest-lasting heavy-duty pickups.
I'm Clinton Griffiths. On the next Ag Day, we'll meet one of the real faces of dairy from the Golden State of California, plus an update on harvest progress from USDA, and Mike Hoffman has your farm country forecast. Join me weekdays right here for Ag Day.